to light firecrackers.
Uh,
Is it the same in the South
no.
or just in the North?
Now we the government sell the firecrackers for us, and we can use it legal.
Oh, well, see,
Yeah.
that's changed from 10 years ago.
Yes, that changed.
Yeah, 10 years ago, you were not allowed to light firecrackers
Yes,
in
right.
Hanoi.
Yes, but
Yeah.
now, but this year we can use it, and I saw
Oh,
some family use it.
well, huh. Because when I asked my students to write about Tet, they always said they loved the smell of firecrackers because it was a good smell. It
Yeah.
reminded them of their childhood. So, can you explain to Emiliano why Tet is so important? And let's begin with you, Kit. Tell Emiliano why Tet is so important.
Because uh, that when that come, we stop working and we return, go back home, and we meet family, and we have a good time with our family. Yes, and that's very important because we are not at home for a year, but when they come, we can return family and meet them. Yeah, I think that is the I don't know I don't know how to say.
Well, now, Kit, are you living right in Saigon?
No, I'm just at home. I didn't uh, work now, but
Uh-huh.
maybe for a week I will go to work.
And so you work in Saigon?
No, I want to work in Cần Thơ. Cần Thơ.
Oh, you're in Canta now.
No, I'm just at my hometown now.
And
Uh,
where is your hometown? How many hours is your hometown from Canta?
uh, one maybe more than 100 kilometer.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So it takes you 2 hours by motorbike,
uh, 3 hour,
three
three
hours by
hours.
motorbike.
Yes.
Yeah. And Brian, where are your parents living? Are your parents living in Canta?
Yeah, yes. I currently living with my parents.
in,
Uh-huh.
in Cần Thơ.
Yeah, in Cần Thơ.
Yeah.
So you live with your parents.
Yeah.
And Emiliano, can you explain to Kiet and Brian uh, what the most important holiday is in Mexico?
Sure. Well, in Mexico uh, we have a lot, but I would say the most important it's gonna be Dia de Muertos, the
That's the Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead. Correct. They and Christmas. I think it's that one and Christmas and the Day of the Dead. Usually, it's like a tradition that everybody make altars that contains food, all kind of food. It can be bread, tequila, beer, tortillas, tacos, tamales, all kind of food. And then you put your altar, and right in the middle you put the photo of of one of your familiars that they have passed away. So the idea is that you set all the altar with all that food and drinks and everything, and the idea is that they supposed to come back that day to see to meet their family, the family that is still alive,
Oh.
Yes.
and it becomes a big big like party, like tradition.
Yes.
Oh,
And
it is the same in
it's,
Vietnam.
yes, it's like Vietnam with the altar, family altar with the
Yeah.
pictures on it. Hmm.
Yes. Right.
Yes. Every family in Vietnam has an altar with pictures of the ancestors on it,
Yes.
and they
Yes.
give gifts like beer and fruit and food to the
Yes.
ancestors.
Right.
Yeah.
One time I saw an altar and it had a bottle of expensive whiskey. And I said, well, how does your ancestors come back from the dead to drink the bottle of whiskey? He said, oh, they can't drink it, so we drink it for them. I said, oh, very interesting.
Yeah, we just want to remember the day of the dead, uh, and we want to remember that day. Is
Hmm.
they cannot eat, but we want the children remember uh, the day
Yeah,
when our ancestor dead
died.
died. Yeah, died.
Right. Hmm.
Yes.
Yes. And it's interesting that in Mexico and Vietnam, very similar custom, remembering the ancestors, and that the Day of the Dead is celebrated around the American tradition of Halloween, where
Mm-hmm.
children dress up in costumes and go knock on doors and get candy.
Hit
And
candy.
so children like Halloween in America, which is in Mexico the Day of the Dead, and they get lots of candy on Halloween. Like you get in Tet, they give children candy, don't they? As well as
Mm,
Lucky Money.
no,
Candy.
just the lucky money.
Yeah.
Don't give the children. We don't give the children candy. Yeah, just the lucky money.
And every Tet, my students brought me chung cake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I had lots of chung cake to eat with
I
sticky
never eat
rice.
that. I never eat that cake because
Yeah.
uh, I am at the southern Vietnam.
Uh-huh. The
Yeah,
south of Vietnam doesn't
south
have
of
that
Vietnam.
tradition.
Yeah, we,
Yeah.
we don't have that cake.
And see, Emiliano, there's still a strong emotional division between South Vietnam and North Vietnam. And one time I came home from Vietnam and I had business cards that I had printed up. And on my business cards, I had the flag of Vietnam, the red flag with the yellow star.
Yes.
And I was in a restaurant in my Quê Hương, Denver, at a pho restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was talking to the waiter and I said, Tôi là giáo viên tiếng Anh. And he said, what? I said, I am an English teacher. He said, yeah, but you say that with a northern accent. That's not the way we talk in the South. We wouldn't say Tôi là giáo viên tiếng Anh. And so then I showed him the business card with the red flag and the yellow star. And this was here in Denver. And he looked at the flag and he threw the business card back at me and he said, that's not our flag. Our flag is a yellow flag with 3 red stripes on it. That's our flag. And so
Oh.
I said, what? He said, I'm from the South and we don't recognize the North. He said, that's why I left Vietnam, because I don't want to be part of the new government. And I thought, whoa, I didn't know that. So he was very angry with me for having my business card, because that's the only flag I had ever known about Vietnam, was the red flag with a yellow stripe or yellow star.
Mm-hmm.
So Emiliano, I'm going to put that in my book because it shows a difference in attitude of people. We call them Viet Kieu. Viet Kieu are Vietnamese who live overseas, but sometimes come back to Vietnam to visit. And the Viet Kieu, they are very careful not to talk about politics.
Yes.
Because I could get into trouble in the North if I talked about politics or if I talked about the government. So I never talked about the government or politics or religion. And when I was in Vietnam 10 years ago, we were not allowed to have our convention in Vietnam. But did either of you get to the convention where Bac Mo was? They had a convention?
No, I never go to that convention.
Uh-huh.
But
Brian, did you go?
Oh, convention? What does this mean? Like,
Well, did Bac Mo tell you about the convention?
yeah, I think no.
Okay, he didn't tell you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, Kiet, did Bac Mo tell you about the convention they have
the
every year?
convention is on the people follow Jesus, gather together.
Yes.
Yeah, and they have the party.
Yeah, it was
maybe.
like for 4 days,
Yeah.
3 or 4 days. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. So, Brian, what was the best part of your Tet holiday?
I think yeah, I got a friend reunion.
Uh-huh.
Like, he's now living in Hanoi, and he is a bodyguard, like, officer, and he's working in Hanoi and
Uh-huh.
came back to Concur for 2 weeks, and that is one of my best friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is he still in the South, or did he go back to Hanoi?
Yeah, he went back to Hanoi.
Uh-huh. And how long do both of you have off from work?
I think like a TED holiday, we have a 2 weeks breaks, I guess. Like, I believe, like,
I think tomorrow on the
Yeah.
people will go to work again.
yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
well, I was surprised my first Tet in Hanoi that all the shops were closed.
Yes.
There was no traffic,
Yeah.
no motorbike honking, nobody in town. It was like a ghost town.
Yeah.
Only the ghosts were there because there were no people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they return their hometown.
Yeah, they went back to their Quay Huang.
Back
Yeah,
to-
quê hương. Yeah, right.
And in my hometown, the Christmas holidays are very busy. The
Yeah.
streets are very busy, and it's very, very busy. But in Hanoi at Tet, it was nobody, not even a single motorbike.
Yes.
It was empty. I just thought everybody had died.
It's very weird.
Yeah, very weird.
Yeah. Emiliano, are there any questions you would ask Brian or Kiet about their Tet holiday?
Well, one question I have: where do you live now? What part of Vietnam?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was telling Emiliano today about how far it is from Hanoi to Saigon. It's like 1,700 kilometers between Hanoi and Saigon. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long way. And how many kilometers is it from Saigon to Canton?
Saigon.
I think around 300 kilometers.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that take a long time
Yes.
on a motorbike. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there train service between Saigon and Canta?
Yes, sure,
Passenger train?
sure. And we can lie down on the on the
The
chair.
sleeper?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the bus.
on the bus. We can lie
Yeah.
down on the
The
chair of the
sleeper
bus.
bus? Yeah. And I think they have those in Mexico, don't they, Emiliano, where you could sleep on the bus, like in a bed on a bus? They have those in Vietnam.
I never have seen them.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
because
know. I don't think so. They have.
Yeah.
be-
Yeah.
yeah, because when we moved to from Cần Thơ to Saigon, uh, it is far away, long distance. Yeah, we need
Yeah.
to lie down and sleep. Yes,
Yeah.
Bác
Yeah.
Mo really like that bus.
Yeah. Yeah, he would. He likes to sleep on the bus.
Yes.
Yeah. I traveled with him to China one time, and he
Oh,
liked to sleep most of the time we were traveling. And I like to look out the window and see the scenery.
yeah. I
So,
hope you will when you return to Vietnam, you will go to Bác Mo.
yes, I plan on going to see Bac Mo.
Yes.
Yeah, I told him about this, and he really excited about this.
Yes, I'm
I just
very
have a wish.
excited.
I want to take a picture, take photos with you and Bác Mo.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
And um, and Emiliano, this Bac Mo that we talk about is a friend of mine from Canada, and he teaches the Bible to Vietnamese people. And he's down in the southern part of Vietnam, close to where Kiet and Brian live, not too far.
Yeah, he is my neighbor.
He's your neighbor. So
Yeah.
he lives in the same part of town you live in?
Yeah, he's living in the residential area. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
good.
we
Very
live the
good.
same.
Good. And when I met him, he was teaching in Hanoi. And so I met him, and he was one of the very first Bible teachers I met in Vietnam.
Mhm.
So it was wonderful to be with him.
Yeah.
And I used to weigh 100 kilos. Now I only weigh 90 kilos.
Oh.
Actually, let's see. Yeah, 90 kilos. But I used to weigh 100 kilos. And one time I was on the back of Bachmo's motorbike, and he said, "David, scoot back. You're too close." And I said, "I'm already on the wheel. I can't go back any further." And so here were two very big, fat Bale Qua guys.
Yeah.
Zut Bale Qua. Yeah, very fat.
Yeah.
And so Bachmo is a big man. He weighs more than I do. And so we almost made the motorbike cry. The motorbike
Yeah.
started to cry when we were on the motorbike.
Yeah.
Yes, we were big guys. So, Kiet, what were some of the foods you ate at Tet?
Mm, I don't know how to say in English. Brian, can you explain for David what food we eat? Uh, can you explain for David what food we eat in Tet holiday?
Yeah, we usually eat bánh tét. It's
Tet cake.
different shape. Like it's similar with bánh chưng. That is south version.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yep.
and we usually eat like the sausage.
Some kinds of sausage, yeah.
Yeah, kind of sausage, and yeah,
Thịt kho trứng.
I don't.
Spicy? Is it
Yeah.
spicy or not
No, it is not
Yeah.
spicy.
spicy?
No, it's not spicy. And we drinking beer, like drinking beer. We in a party like this, like we sat together and having some beer.
Mhm.
Like 1, 2, 3. Yeah,
Yeah,
cheers.
that's called having a toast. You
Yeah,
toast one another, and
Oh,
you say congratulations.
oh, toast.
yeah.
Yep,
And
yep,
we have a dish like a pork with cooked with the egg of
yes,
the duck.
yes.
Yeah.
And that's called a balut. The English name for that is
Balut.
the egg with a little duck in it or a chicken in it is called a balut.
No,
Do they
no.
have those
No,
Like
no.
in Mexico?
we don't usually eat the balut in Tet holiday.
Oh, you don't?
Like it's called in Vietnamese is let me remember. It's thịt kho. It's mean the meat part and the egg. Yeah, it stays salted like a
Oh,
little bit
salted.
salt. Yeah,
Mhm.
and
Let me show you
yeah.
the picture.
Okay.
You saw did you saw my did you see my screen?
I see. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yes.
And it's got like pork and an egg
Yes.
in the, yeah, I see that.
Yes. And some food we eat.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting.
And this is
Um, oh, it looks like cabbage or Brussels sprouts with
khổ.
something inside, like corn.
Yeah.
Rice.
This is
Does
yes.
that have rice inside of it?
It's really bitter.
Oh, it's
Uh,
bitter.
Yeah.
it is a corn bitter watermelon. Oh, right.
What? Bitter melon.
Bitter melon.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Bitter.
huh.
Sorry.
Well, Kiet, how do you do that? How do you get a picture to show up on the screen like that?
And this
You
is
just
the flower of that holiday in the south of Vietnam.
okay, that's a yellow flower.
Yes.
What is the English name for that flower?
It is apricots blossom.
Oh, apricot. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's always
apricot. Yeah.
usually bloom on the Tet holiday.
Yeah.
During the Tet holiday.
And
Well,
this is on the north of
oh yeah, that looks familiar, like a plum blossom.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, plum blossom in the north.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
And one of the things I have had Emiliano do today is read about the four seasons in Hanoi, because in Hanoi there's winter, summer, fall, and spring, and each season is different. Whereas in Saigon or in the South, you just have two seasons, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Hot and rainy.
Yes. Right.
Very hot and hot season.
Yes.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's divided into season like hot and very hot.
Yeah. And in the summertime, you get monsoon rains.
Monsoon. What does it mean?
A monsoon rain, very heavy rain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We call that a monsoon.
Monsoon. Yeah.
I think that's an East Indian word. Yeah. Well, in our Christmas holidays, we usually either have ham or turkey. And I don't think you
Mẹ.
have turkey in Vietnam?
Đang là học rồi.
The Vietnamese called it American chicken.
Yeah, it's gà Tây.
Yeah, date. Yeah.
Yeah.
Foreign chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we don't usually eat it.
Yes. Mhm. Well, when I came to Vietnam in 2003, when I would walk on the streets of Hanoi, little children would point to me and tell their parents, Thầy, 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 foreigner, foreigner, foreigner.
Yes,
Because they didn't have very many foreigners in Hanoi 20 years ago. And so now there's lots of tourism in Vietnam.
Tây mean Western, right?
Yeah, Western.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Western.
Westerner. Yeah, foreigner. Because they knew we were not Asian.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Our race is Caucasian. And so that means not Asian. Yes. Vietnam was the first Asian country I ever was in. And then I went to China. And then I went to Malaysia, Singapore, and the Philippines. So those are the Asian countries I have been to, and Cambodia and Laos, but I've never been to Thailand.
Did you live there or you just travel there?
I just went to Cambodia to see friends,
Mm-hmm.
and the same thing with Laos. And then to Malaysia and China, I went there to go to church conventions. And so Bak Mo and my church, we have once a year a 4-day church convention. And we rent usually like a villa or a hotel or some place to have that in. Here in the United States, we have many of our people in our faith that own farms. So here in America, we use farms for our church convention because it's free. And all 4 days, the food is free and the lodging is free and it doesn't cost anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and it was the same way in Vietnam, it was free.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Which country did you like best?
Yeah.
Well, of all the Asian countries I've been to, Emiliano, TIyêu Vietnam. I love Vietnam. Oh, yes, that's my favorite.
You know what? I'll be one day before you go to Vietnam. I'll be in your house and get into your baggage.
Okay. And you're going to put something in my baggage?
No, it's gonna me.
Oh, you're going to be my baggage in my. You're going to get into my suitcase, and I'll take you to Vietnam with me. Yeah. But my baggage would be overweight if you got in it, because Emiliano is tall.
Oh,
Yes.
He's not fat, but he's tall.
I'm 6 feet.
Yeah, 6
High.
feet tall. Mhm. That would be about a little over 2 meters.
wow.
So
So tall.
No, it's 1 meter and 180
yeah, 1.80
Oh.
meters. Yeah, almost 2 meters.
Yeah, my
Pretty
weight
tall.
is like 90 kilos.
Yeah, 90
Yeah.
kilos. That's about the same as me, but I'm just short. Yeah, I'm just a short fella. And Brian, how many kilos do you weigh?
Yeah, it's around 67.
67 kilos.
Yeah, and my height is 1 meter 65, I believe.
Okay, 1.65 meters.
Yeah.
And Kit, how about you?
Yeah, I just 60 kilo.
60 kilos.
Yeah, but I'm a little bit tall. I'm tall.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I was in one of the public markets, there were 2 old women talking about me because I kept hearing them say, Thầy, Thầy. And then one old lady said to the other, Tay Bale Qua. And I said, Bale Qua, Comb Bale Qua, Comb Thai, not right,
Yeah.
not nice. These ladies were saying in Vietnamese that the foreigner was very fat, but I understood enough Vietnamese. I knew what they were saying. So I started talking to them in Vietnamese, and they were embarrassed,
Surprise.
very embarrassed.
Surprise, you
Yes.
know Vietnamese.
Yeah.
And then they apologize. They say, Xin lỗi, Xin lỗi, Xin lỗi. I'm sorry, forgive me. But I laughed and I laughed and I laughed
And
because it was so funny.
when you was in Vietnam, did you travel another province in Vietnam?
Well, I traveled all over the north in most of the provinces in northern Vietnam, Thanh Hoa, Moc Cho,
Yeah.
and Bat Chang. I went to, of course, Ha Long Bay and
Yeah.
Hai Phong and many of the cities in the north. And then I did go to the center to Hue and Hoi An
Oh,
and Dalat and Da
Yeah.
Nang.
wh-
And then in the south, I only got to Saigon.
oh,
Yeah.
And so I've never been to the Mekong Delta.
Yeah.
So I want to come down to the Mekong Delta.
where do you like the most?
Well, I enjoyed Saigon, but Hanoi is my favorite because I'm most comfortable there.
Mhm.
I know the streets of Hanoi fairly well. And so I lived in 7 different houses during 9 years that I was there. And so I lived in different parts of Hanoi. And so that was interesting.
Yeah.
I do love Hanoi because I'm comfortable there.
Mhm, mhm.
And I did not realize until one of my students named Duong, who was from the South, told me that there were 3 different dialects in Vietnam: a northern dialect, a southern dialect, and a dialect from the center of Vietnam.
Dialect.
And
What does it mean? Dialect.
a dialect is like an accent
Uh-huh.
that every region has its own accent.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
And I took a group of students to a cultural festival in Hue. And my students from Hanoi could not understand the Vietnamese people in Hue, so they had to talk to the people in English because they couldn't understand each other's Vietnamese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it.
It was very different.
Like,
You
like
guys-
sometimes I stand next to the north and I don't get what they mean.
Yes.
Like,
Yes, when I count in Vietnamese, một, hai, ba, bốn, năm, sáu, bảy, tám, chín, mười, little children laugh and go, because the people in the South, they didn't understand what I was saying, but the children in the North understood me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You guys live in the north or the south?
These boys live in the South.
yeah, the south.
So
I live in Cần Thơ, which is located in the middle of Mekong Delta.
yes, very far south. And Brian, count from 1 to 10 in Vietnamese.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
You probably couldn't hear the difference between what Brian said and what I said, but it's a little different tone. And Kiet, count from 1 to 10 in Vietnamese.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Muy.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah. Yeah. See, and I count without the tones so much.
Yeah.
Yes. One time my students asked me in the classroom, they asked me in Vietnamese if I could speak Vietnamese. And so I answered them what I thought was in Vietnamese, I think I can. But they all laughed when I said that in Vietnamese. I said, why were you laughing? And they said, oh, we can't tell you. It would embarrass you. It was very embarrassing. I said, what did I say? I thought I said, I think I can speak Vietnamese. And they said, no, you said, I think I'm pregnant, that you're going to have a baby. And I said, oh, no, 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 no. One student said, Sendoi, twins.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So when a child is adopted, do you call that con nuôi?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
An adopted child, con nuôi?
Yeah.
Yeah. Con nuôi.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Con nuôi. Yeah.
Wow, you remember so long. You remember
Like
Vietnamese word very good.
A little
Yeah.
bit. It's coming back to me. Today, I saw a woman where I go swimming, and she's Vietnamese. She's one of my former students, and she's from Vietnam. And I told her, I said, today I have an English class at the library. And then I forgot the word for today, and I said, what is the Vietnamese word for today? And she said, hôm nay.
Yeah. Hôm nay.
Yeah.
Hôm nay. Yeah.
And then nay mai, is that tomorrow?
Nay mai is
Ngày mai,
future.
ngày mai.
Oh yeah. Ngày mai and nay mai is different.
Uh-huh. So nay mai is tomorrow or yesterday?
Tomorrow.
Ngày mai.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ngày mai.
Yes. So I'm going to try to remember some of my Vietnamese when I come back. I can tell a taxi driver,
And how
Zay
long?
Chai,
How long you will?
Zay Phai.
How long you will?
I'll stay there for 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks. Uh-huh.
Yep. I'll be about a week in the north and about a week in the south.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll come back to Hanoi for about 3 days before we fly back to America.
Mm-hmm. And
To
you
rest.
said you have 4 friends go with you?
Yes, 4 friends come with me.
Oh.
Yes. They're 2 married couples.
Yeah.
And
Ken and Mary is one couple. And then the other married couple is Larry and Linda. I will send you their names so you could see their names. And I will try to send you pictures of them.
and are they now living in American?
Yeah, one is living in my state, Colorado, and then one couple is living in New Mexico.
Wow.
To the south of Colorado.
You're going to Cần Thơ is in mid-March, like?
Yes, in mid-March.
Yeah.
Yes. It'll
So
probably
excited.
be about the 14th or 15th of
Yeah.
March. Mhm.
Yeah. Like we can take a picture together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, since I'll be in Canta with Bach Mo, then we could have pictures taken together and we could send them back to Emiliano.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unless he gets into my suitcase, and then we'll have all pictures of all of us together. Yeah, that would be wonderful. Yeah. Do you have any questions for Emiliano about Mexico?
Or here?
Yes.
Yeah.
What religion? I forgot the word. Let me check. What religion popular in Mexico?
Oh, yeah. What religion
Religion.
is popular
Religion.
in Mexico?
Religion. The most popular religion in Mexico is Catholic.
Yeah.
Catholic.
Catholic.
It's
the
coming
Catholic
down.
Church?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, church.
Yeah.
There's many Catholic churches in Vietnam.
And
Yeah.
how many people in Mexico now? Mexico is
Like the population, right?
population.
Yeah, the population.
Yeah.
Population, it's about 130 million people.
Oh,
Million?
Wow.
130 million
million.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Vietnamese has 100 Yeah, more than.
Yeah, it just hit 98 million.
Oh,
98 million.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it's smaller than Mexico.
yeah,
Yes, the number of square miles in Vietnam is about the same as one of our states, the state of New Mexico. So, Emiliano, you could fit all of the land
Huh?
in Vietnam into the state of New Mexico.
Oh, New Mexico.
Yeah.
Is
So,
Is Vietnam an island or is not an island?
no, it's attached to Asia, the Asian continent.
Okay.
It's just south of China,
Huh?
and then to the west of Vietnam is Cambodia and Laos, and then to the south of Vietnam is Malaysia and Singapore. And so get a map out and look at a map of Vietnam, and it's shaped like a long, skinny S,
yeah.
the
Mm-hmm.
letter S,
Later.
like in the letter S as in Sam.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll check it.
yeah. And
Yeah.
Emiliano, and what do you want the foreigner when they travel to Mexico? What do you want they remember your country? What do you want they know about your country?
When I go, usually I go back Mexico once a year. My parents live there, so my wife is from the same town where I am from. So both of us, we have our parents living there. So basically, when we go there because they live there. So we go and same as you, uh, we go to have a good time for about 2 weeks with them.
Yes. And Kit was wondering if a visitor like me went to Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
where would you want me to go in Mexico?
Yeah, and what do you want the people to try in Mexico? Yeah,
What would you like
Oh,
them to eat?
yeah, it.
to eat, you can try the tacos.
I love
That's
tacos, by the
Taco.
way.
tacos.
Let me.
That's
Yeah.
that's a very delicious food. It's kind of very simple, but it's delicious. Also, they have a lot of music. I don't know if you have heard about the mariachis or the banda.
Yeah.
So that's a very uh, nice music that you can dance and shake all your body,
Oh,
relax.
very nice.
Also, there's a lot of monuments or buildings that they were built during the Spanish conquer,
Mm-hmm.
like church, houses, theaters,
Hmm.
and also there's a lot of museums
Mm.
where there's a lot of like things that they were using like maybe 2 3,000 years ago.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yes. Emiliano was reading about the history of Hanoi today in my uh, my chapter I'm writing in the book, and I mentioned that Hanoi is 1,000 years old,
Mm-hmm.
which is 4 times older than the United States. So we are little imbes, little babies in comparison to
And there,
Vietnam.
yes.
Imbe, yeah.
And
And
we just have 6 minutes again to talk.
okay, yeah. Well, I think we'll end here.
Mm, yeah,
But next week we'll have our Bible study and we'll do Mark 9 next week.
yeah.
But I just
Mark,
wanted
Mark
Emiliano
8,
to hear about your
Mark
pet.
8.
Well, we could do Mark 8.
Yeah.
Yes, we could do Mark 8. We'll do that.
Yeah.
So you both have a wonderful week, and I will count down the days till we're together. And in the meantime, Emiliano, if you could send me a link to your favorite mariachi band, then I could send it on to Kiet and Brian, and they could listen to some mariachi music. Mariachi music is one of my favorites because it's happy music, very happy music.
Yeah.
And it's a kind of a national treasure in Mexico to have mariachi music.
Yes.
If I send you the mariachi, then you have to drink some tequila.
Tequila. Yeah.
Tequila.
Tequila.
It's a drink made, alcohol drink made from cactus.
Oh, yeah.
The cactus plant.
Cactus.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'll say good night to you three, and good studies, and we'll do this again next Saturday night. And Emiliano, I will talk to you on Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Good.
before.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very
Keep a
happy.
smile on your face, a song in your heart, and never give up.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, have a great weekend.
Yeah, very happy
Adios.
to talk to you guys.
Yes, same here. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.